Hey, welcome back to the website hacking series. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the SQL and the database. This is a really important topic. Okay, uh, I'm going to give you examples so that you will understand what I mean by that. Think about any website you use, like Gmail or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. Uh, or your banking app, they all need to store the information. They need to store information like your username, your password, and your post history, your balance, etc. All of these app needs to store the data somewhere and somehow. This is what the database helps in database store all of these information. Now for the SQL is the language where the web application or the application communicate to the database to deal with the data that is stored in the database. Okay, so by the end of this video you will understand what database actually are and how they are structured, and as well as how SQL work, how the web application and the database, how SQL help us in communicating between the web application and the application and the database between them, right? We will understand all of this with example, practical example how this work together. And now let me give you a quick overview of where we are in the web hacking series. So right now we are in module 1, which is the foundational module. In that we are covering basic foundational concepts, right? So I have already covered 5 parts, and this right here, the video you are watching, this is part 6 of the module 1. So you already know what we will be covering in this video. Previously I have talked about, in part 1 I have talked about how web pages, how website are made. In part 2 I have talked about the client side and the server side architecture, and in the part 3 I have talked about the HTTP, how your browser and the web server communicates, right? And in part 4 I have talked about the cookies and session management, and in part 5 I have talked about the HTML forms and why they are so important to cover, and their security implication, like why the hackers target them. So if you have not watched the previous video, I will definitely recommend checking them out first, so that you get foundational level concept and understand how everything connects and works. Now for this specific video, I know the database and SQL might look very complicated, but I promise I will make it very easy, and we will cover a step by step. You will understand very easily, and we will also use the example, and as well as we will do the practical as well. So it will helps you to understand easily and quickly. So now let's focus on our main topic.